Have you ever experienced a great storyteller? Somebody that as soon as they get started, you're like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be so good. I love great stories and I love great storytellers, and I love to try to tell great stories as well. And I can tell when I'm on the platform speaking at a weekend service and I'm in the middle of one of those biblical stories and it feels like the room is right there with me. That is something that as a communicator and as a leader, I've tried to grow in over the years, which is why I'm really excited about one of the speakers at this year's Leadership Summit. Her name is Kindra Hall. And I've included a clip of her speaker reel. You could watch a couple minutes of it to get a sense of who she is and how she communicates. But one of the things she's going to talk about is the art of storytelling and how to tell better stories. Because the truth is, whether you're teaching, speaking on a platform, or casting vision to a team of small group leaders, ministry team leaders, in a huddle, being a good storyteller can garner an incredible amount of influence. It can accelerate the goals and objectives that you have. It can help connect people together in a meaningful way. And so one of the things that I think we all can get a little better at is our storytelling skills. And I can't wait to learn from her at this Leadership Summit, which is just another reason for those of you that are investing in other leaders on your team. If there are people who you know lead in the marketplace or need to leverage stories in order to get better at their work or to reach more customers or to make a bigger difference, you're going to want to invite them to consider attending the Leadership Summit. Just another tool that can be added to our leadership toolbox to better steward the opportunity we have to make a difference. Speaking of making a difference, this past weekend was incredible, and I am so proud of you, our staff team. And yes, many of our key volunteers who operate like staff members. We couldn't do what we do without the way you support, cast vision, rally the troops. I mean, we had more Dream Team enrolled, signed up, participating in the weekend service than we have had since March 8th of 2020, right before COVID. And so we're seeing God continue to bring people back, engage them in the mission. And I think the whole service was incredible, engaging, meaningful, heartfelt, spiritual, and relevant. There's just a lot of people that I know that are struggling with doubt, wondering if God notices them, wondering if they can trust God in the midst of their circumstances, realizing that God doesn't always make analytical sense. And is God okay with me? And my hope is that God uses this to continue to bring people back to Him, which is why I'm excited about the next series that we'll be stepping into after that, which I'll talk about in a minute. But first, you can get your little hand claps ready, and or at least let's receive the fact that we got to be a part of something significant in people's lives. We had 2,275 people attend Good Friday services, which was incredible. That's right. And what a meaningful night that was. I loved the simplicity and the profound nature of the service, all of the elements that came together from the opening video through leading people through communion. That was a lot of fun. 11,300 people physically attended Easter, with a total Easter weekend attendance of 15,904 people engaging with us, which is incredible. And so thank you to the arts team, to the kids team, to the campus team, to the hospitality team, all the way through. We have so much to be thankful for. And the thing that I was noticed in particular this Easter was the passion at which people rose their hands. 276 hands were raised, and it's always a little interesting because, some of them are raising hands anytime we ask them to do it. Sometimes it's kids. But there were enough hands this year that I felt like God was doing some cool work in people's lives. There were a couple of faces that I recognized when I was looking around that were almost hard for me to get through because I was so excited about what God was doing. And so we need to celebrate that. And my hope is that continues. So yes, celebrate that. Celebrate that with your team. Make sure that your dream team feels like they were a part of something big. Share with them the significance, the uniqueness of what we got to be a part of here. And yes, it's happening at churches all over. But man, it feels good to see the fruit of our labor. And that's what you do in moments like this. But I also think that gets us excited about the next series, Losing My Religion. That'll kick off this weekend. We're going to try to convince everybody to lose their religion and replace it with a life-giving relationship with Jesus. And so I first experienced this series with my friends at LCBC, and they have graciously given us permission to use their framework and walk people through a similar experience here. And I just think it's going to be powerful. That's my hope and prayer. I may be wrong. Maybe it won't relate to anybody. But the sense is that it's easy to get caught up in the rule keeping and miss the relationship. And so be prayerful about that. And yeah, the eclipse is coming this weekend too, friends. So it might be the end of the world. Who knows? Jesus may come back. A lot to look forward to. I'm just thankful to be on the journey with you. Thanks. Love you guys.